I forgot we're doing this live, so let's play this.
No.
What's up, dude? Eric Burns here. What's up? What's up, my dude? Eric Burns here. What's up, my dude? My dude.
It's a good comeback, man. It's the first step.
Stepping in fresh like all
I
day.
don't like to tell my kids, dude. The words are hollow, my dude. With no action.
I'm on a mission to win.
With no action.
I ain't gonna say it again, bruh.
It's a good comeback, man. After all that Carl's Jr. the slaughter last year.
All that when they see me, they all fall back because I'm on a mission to win.
Comeback, man.
I'm on a mission to win. I ain't gonna say it again, bruh. I'm gonna go my way
I
in.
can't tell you
Scott,
how proud I am, dude, that you say you're going to go ahead and
Carl Jr.
run or walk the run differential after each D-backs lost this season.
How proud I am.
Especially after all that Carl's Jr. you slaughtered last year,
Scott,
eating yourself in the mystery. So, it's a good comeback, man. It's the first step.
Stepping in fresh like all day.
I don't like to tell my kids, dude, your words are hollow,
my dude.
with no action.
I'm on a mission to win.
With no action.
I ain't gonna say it again, bruh.
It's a good comeback, man. After all that Carl's Jr. you slaughtered last year.
They don't know what to call that when they see me, they all fall back because I'm on a mission to win. I'm on a mission to win. I ain't gonna say it again, bruh. I'm gonna go my way in.
But overall, I like it. Go get him, go do that.
Scott,
That's it, bud.
The In This League Podcast Network.
What's up, friendos, and welcome into the In This League Fantasy Baseball Podcast. It's a Friday edition. It's not a Margarita Friday edition, even though we probably should have done that. I think
That was a big hit.
It was a
Everybody
big-
enjoyed that.
Why don't you drink or do something?
Maybe I should be just extra annoying. So
No, I mean, you just have a margarita. It's more Angry Friday. We're more Bogman's hand hurts for some reason. There you go. Bogman's gonna Maker's
some
Mark
Maker.
Friday yet. I'm not in a great mood. And then I started the show, not forgetting we were live, and I could have caused some problems here, if we're being honest. So I started it off a little shaky there, but
there you go.
there you go. All right,
Margarita
good.
Friday.
There you go. Bogman's got a gummied margarita. That's what it is. So there you go. Margarita Friday is back. It's Bogman. It's the Welsh. It's In This League. We are going to be doing some June player debates later on the show. We have got some hot performing June players, or comparative to like one hot and then one maybe, like big name guy. We'll do the player debates. And we've got all the latest news, but we're also doing it live on our YouTube and Twitch. So an opportunity to hang out and maybe interact when we're doing these player debates. We can get it. Maybe it'll be a thing that we start doing. We'll just start going live for the Margarita Fridays. But we've got it on youtube.com/inthisleague and twitch.tv/inthisleague, twitch.tv/inthisleague. Yes. That you guys can hang out, hang and bang. Do the stuff, watch it live, or of course you can just check out the podcast after. And if you guys want that personalized message sent to you, go to inthisleague.com today, inthisleague.com. That is our Patreon support. We love you when you do so. It helps us out. Also get access to the ranks, baseball, football, dynasty, prospect. Get access to our group me rooms, which is like a Discord, and a ton more. inthisleague.com. Do it today. Do you like that I am standing in solidarity with Fernando Tatis Jr. wearing my Tatis?
Fight. I didn't watch any of the post game on that, but I did watch it live when it was happening. And that was, I just had the Dodgers and Padres game on. I think that was the only game, plus the Astros and A's were on. And Nicholas Kurtz walked them off 2 times in that series. That was fun to watch, but it was fun to see. I thought, dude, Dave Roberts wants to fight Mike Schlitt. I mean, he wants to murder him in the parking lot. Those two, this needs to be like Dana White needs to organize some old man MMA thing going on here. These two dudes need
Dave Roberts would put a pounding down.
I think so too. I think Schult's too old, but
Way too old.
Dave Roberts pretty old too at this point.
Yeah, but he's still like in really good shape. Like I'd be a first rounder. We would be done as long as
we know where Welsh is betting. Then let's get this going. What are the FanDuel odds on this? Is what
Dave
I'm
Roberts
wondering,
like 10 years younger too.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like old, like a celebrity
I mean,
boxing
Dave
match.
Roberts was out there and in his face in 0.2 sec. He wanted that smoke. He was there for it.
I would love if we could just like get all the great players to stop being hit. Like I was saying something leading off, hit Max Muncy, hit the not good players. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't hit Shohei Ohtani. Don't hit Fernando Tatis Jr. Didn't it start with like Andy Pajes?
You know what? I didn't watch the whole series, so I don't know who got hit first, but I do know Tatis got hit 2 days in a row, and then they hit Ohtani, and Ohtani did not want them to fight. He was like, nah, we're good. Let's end it there. But then everybody else came, out of the bench again. So,
All right, question.
Yeah, it's ugly.
What
I like it though.
What is better for baseball though? Should you do this with the hitting of hitting guys 95 miles an hour, or do like hockey? Let them, pull off the thing
forever.
2 minute. You put them in the box, put them in a half inning box. So
just let them duke it out.
Yeah,
just let them swing for it. But the problem is in hockey, most of the guys are somewhat close to this. You have to be big to play hockey. It's kind of like being in the NBA. But I mean, you have a sport where you remember Chris Young, who's now the GM of the Rangers.
Yeah, dude.
And Jose Altuve. Aaron Judge and Jose Altuve play this sport.
Odor was like 5'7", and he was just knocking dudes out left and right. Like, I don't buy that. I let them fight it out. That's what I want to see. I think less chance of injury if these dudes just punch each other in the face a little bit instead of. I'm tired of the policing stuff, and it's like, what was it? Machado had said like they better hope that the X-rays come back clean and stuff like.
Yeah,
it's not good for the game to lose Ohtani or Tatis over just like bull crap. You know what I mean?
Ringworm, right?
Or cheating or ringworm, whatever. But the X-rays were negative on Tatis, regardless of it. So,
thank God. Yeah. Now Manny Machado can just be a normal guy. So
his threats.
We were all really worried about Manny Machado.
You better hope. You better hope that everything's okay.
You better hope everything's okay with my buddy.
I'll tell you what, everybody. But yeah, it was fun. I like it for baseball. It's probably those small little reasons though too that ratings are going up a little bit. People want to see that type of stuff.
That.
So
not for the NBA finals, I don't think. But
no,
for MLB, yeah.
Well, NBA. I think that's what it was. It was like the 18 to 35 numbers were up in baseball. I mean, the finals stinks. I haven't watched.
It's going to game 7. How can you say it stinks?
Oklahoma and Indiana.
So what?
You know what? I'll watch tonight.
7.
Give me game 7. That's fine. I have zero interest up or whatever. I have zero interest. See, I don't even know what day it is.
It's Friday today.
I like 4 players. Like 4 players on that team. Maybe not even 4. SGA.
Hey, Halliburton. That took a gummy. What are we doing?
I don't know any other players. And Miles Turner still on that team?
Yep.
Okay, I got 3.
Come on, the big skinny white guy for OKC. Come on.
Oh, Chet Holmgren.
There we go. Holmgren, yeah.
Holmgren, yeah. There you go.
How about the really good defender for OKC?
Is that SGA?
Dort.
Dort? Yeah, Lou Dort.
Yeah,
okay,
you just need to see the roster.
I'll watch baseball. I'd rather these guys fight than any of it. It keeps coming out. You put it on here, but Devers said he's going to work out at first base for the Giants. More reports coming out. He hasn't been wanting to talk, but there were 2 new things. It was that he talked about, I guess, his meeting that he had with John Henry and saying that he would move to first base, but he wanted it to be next year. So blah. And then also one of the little schisms with the Red Sox and him were that he refused to do like post-game interviews. And one of the things they showed was like Jaron Duran doing the interview after that big homer that one day or walk-off or whatever it was for Devers. So the Devers stuff just still continues, but he's doing his stuff, and I'm loving that he's going to play first base. When is their game, by the way? When did they play the Red Sox?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's coming up though, isn't it?
He's got to play first base. Soon? He 100% has to play first base in the very
only if they're
first
in
game.
Boston. Right?
All the games.
It's right now. It's in San Francisco. It's today.
Oh, is it today?
That Dobbins and Bird song.
Do they have is the lineup out?
No, I don't. It's the late game. It's 9:15 or 9:15 my time.
It.
So
I would. I mean, that's the type of petty I mean, because like Rafael Devers is not a super likable guy now. Like, I don't care what the people are like, oh, the Red Sox. It's like, yeah, but you're also like, he's kind of a dirtbag, and he's a big, huge, massive crybaby. Like, oh, you're gonna keep making me move positions? Like, I want him to like lean into it, continue to lean into that, and like
You want him
play
to be the
first
bad
base.
guy now. He's Billie Eilish.
I want Buster Posey to be like, when I was in college, I played all 9 positions in my final game. I want them
He
to do that
really
with Devers.
did too.
I know he did.
I remember that at FSU.
That was awesome. I want him to have Devers play all the positions against the Red Sox in that series. I think that would be the ultimate way to do it. Like, let's really show him.
He trying to catch an inning.
Catch, pitch, play second, turn a double play at short. Yes, play him at all the positions. Just lean into Petty.
Love to see Devers play center.
Yeah, put him in center, left, right. He'll be like Will Ferrell. Just fly him around. He'll just keep playing all the positions.
He's traded for Sinachurro and some nachos.
Fun fact: Bogman and I were there live at a game.
Gallagher.
Yeah, with the Roto World guy. We were there live, not knowing what was going on, and we found out like during that day. It was like, hey, by the way,
no, we knew. That's why we went.
I do not remember that at all. You guys knew. I remember someone saying like, hey, by the way, Will Ferrell today is doing some like games where he's showing up. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know. And then bam, we were at Salt River. It was Reds versus Diamondbacks. And that was where Will Ferrell played left.
He landed
field
his
for the
helicopter
D-backs.
on the practice field.
Yeah. The helicopter landed. He comes out. He played, I think, left field for the D-backs, and a ball got hit at him, and then at the Reds,
he had a goofy little crow hop on his.
Was it third base for the Reds? I'm forgetting what he played for the Reds.
Yeah, something, because I think he caught and pitched in the nightcap, which was the Dodgers, and I think the Padres.
Yeah, and I think he got like thrown out of like the Reds or whatever. But like, just cool fun fact. I still have the pictures like in my Google Cloud or nonsense out there of Will Ferrell on the jumbo screen and everything like that. It wasn't as cool in person, if we're being honest, but like the documentary makes it super cool.
We were there, that's it's a pretty cool like piece of baseball history. We were there.
So if they show the crowd when he was a Diamondback and a Red, look out there. Bogman and Welsh are somewhere there. We're looming.
I don't remember where we sat.
We were
on the third. Did we sit on the first base side?
We were facing third base and left field. So we were on first base side, but we had like a really good angle of like just slightly to our left was third base.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a perfect angle for what Ferrell was doing. So
yeah,
very, very cool. That margarita kicking in yet?
No. I mean, that'll take 20 or 30 minutes.
How long do your margaritas take to kick in? Oh, 20, 30.
The gummy? Yeah.
Yeah, margarita.
My margarita. Yeah.
Corbin Carroll was hit on the hand. We almost lost our minds. X-rays negative. He's out today.
Is he again?
He is out. He's not playing today. Any worries that this kind of slows stuff down?
This is exactly how Yordan Alvarez's got hit on the hand started. Oh, X-rays were negative, and they didn't play a couple games, and now he's in witness protection or something. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Yordan Alvarez. He hasn't been around at all. So, I am worried that this is worse than what they initially said for Corbin, especially if he's missing 2 days in a row. If he's back tomorrow, then great. We're not worrying about it. We move forward, blah, blah, blah. But I don't like missing 2 days in a row, especially when X-rays were negative. So hopefully it's just, let that bruise recover, let some swelling go down, whatever.
If you were to see him slow it down, let's say final 2 weeks before the All-Star game or whatever, would you be worried enough to maybe sell off if you saw like, oh, look, average is going down, power seems to be zapped, like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, wrist is fine, but maybe it's not. Like, was there any type of sell in you for getting out of the Carroll business?
I mean, I think it's a good point to bring up, and I think this is, with the D-backs uncertainty, I think it's a good thought to have at least, right? Because it's like, okay, if this is worse than what they're letting on, would they shut him down at the end of the year? Or, does he go have surgery because they're trading off or something? So I don't think it's I don't think it's a crazy thought. I think it's way too early to think like that right now. But yeah, I mean, it's a consideration at least.
Can you believe, by the way, that, well, I don't want to make it about Carroll because like Carroll should be an all-star, but can you believe like James, like the all-star voting is so ridiculous. Like I think Carroll is not voted as a starter for Teoscar Hernandez, loser fans, and James Wood is not even in the top 6, loser fans, for the voting. Just ridiculous. Like there should be some type of cap. I don't know.
Is there anything that you hate more than fan voting for all-star games?
I just have
Pro
the worst
Bowls
joke. I held back. So this is my joke, right? I'll say.
Oh,
Hold on.
yeah.
All right.
We're live.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't say it because of
Yeah.
this
So,
this
like
is
a
what I was
gentleman,
thinking to say.
I won't read that
All right.
with my lips because I'm a gentleman, unlike other people that I know.
This is how I was going to say to fix the fan voting.
That's excellent.
What about my joke?
That's excellent.
It's an excellent joke, right?
Great
It's so
joke.
good, but probably not good to say on here, right?
Cal Raleigh just hit a bomb, by the way.
Did he? Like on a 1 to 10 scale, how good was that joke?
That's an 8. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's an 8. It's
like
an 8
it.
or a 9. So not gonna say it. By the way, shout out to our people that are hanging out here. Like I said, just kind of randomly. Maybe we'll make this more of a common thing to do.
You see
the
Grim
second
Reaper's in
pod.
here with us?
Oh yeah, I see this. Well, Grim Reaper's going to come up. We got Grim Reaper, we got Jim Poppin, our boy Britton Allen, Errol,
Britton.
Troy. We got a bunch of the people. Josh S is in here. Troy. Shout out to all you guys that are hanging. Maybe, like I said, we'll make this more, but we might even get to some of the people's questions. But people feel free to react. And also, we're going to be doing some player debates in a little bit off of the June hot performers. So we can have these guys keep going with it. I cannot believe Cal Raleigh, by the way. Cal Raleigh just. Like I was just like, oh, we gotta sell him. He's so hot. Like, dude might hit 45 homers. That big ass just keeps hitting bombs.
Yeah, he hit a pretty big bomb in this game too. And then him and Perdomo, they're doing the opposite. Like they got paid and they're living up to their contracts. So nope, most of the time it's these guys sign a big deal and
Just don't ask them to play any other positions. Just make sure to do that. Make sure Cal only is a catcher. Because if you ask him to do any other positions, then you might ask him to do another one, and then like, oh, it might be a problem.
Maybe this is a hot take, but I think Cal Raleigh and Geraldo Perdomo would probably just play whatever you ask them to play.
I kind of think that.
Don't think they would have any issues with post-game press conferences or answering questions. And I think they're both team leader guys too.
How many players do you think you could pinpoint who and what type of players in the league would not be open to moving? Are there any players that come to mind when you think about it that like they would have a big hissy fit? I think it usually comes from shortstops.
Yeah.
I think someone like
short and third.
I think like Lindor comes off to me as
didn't
kind
it take
of
forever to push Manny to third?
I think it was a little bit to push him off of short. I think you'd have to almost pinpoint all of the shortstops.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's definitely the diva. Shortstop is
and
the
one
wide
third
receiver
baseman.
of baseball.
And
right?
one third baseman that became a DH. Otherwise, yeah, they are the kind of that diva. That's 100% true. Some other news and notes out there. What is this? Did we ever find out what Castellanos said? What did he say?
Well, didn't he? He was suspended for a game. Rob Thompson said he was suspended for something he said. I think he got yanked for not hustling or something.
Maybe someone asked, what did what's his name say when you hit that homer, and he just started reciting. Maybe that's what Castellanos did. I don't know. What was that guy's name again? I'm forgetting.
Brenneman.
Yeah. Thom Brenneman.
Thom. Yeah, he used to be he was the original play-by-play guy for the D-backs.
Besides, obviously, what he said that made him awful. There's an Ian Happ homer, by the way.
150 cigarettes a day for Thom, by the way, from what I've been told.
But who is worse, Sutton or Thom? Darren Sutton was pretty insufferable. I mean, just letting you guys know if you never listened. Darren Sutton, absolutely insufferable. But Thom,
look, as humans, I think Sutton is probably a pretty good dude.
They're not even close. Like Darren Sutton also created like a production company after he did a year of filming in the AFL and stuff. He created jobs. Thom, created legislation or whatever.
And hate. Right. Yeah.
As a person, but I'm saying as a commenter.
Man, I could not stand Sutton. I really couldn't. Just the apologist bit for every move the D-backs make. Like Gonzo has been in the booth recently, and it's like, look, this was not the right thing to do. This was not the right thing to do. Like he will critique the team when they make mistakes. He is also there to say when things go right. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't like the shilly. The team can never do any wrong.
God, can you believe it?
I mean, a base hit. Oh, a base hit up the middle. He acted like he was calling professional wrestling.
He was
And
the worst.
it was just way too over the top in his excitement about, a ground rule double. So if something big did happen, he is losing his goddamn mind. Like, he's just too over the top, man. That was just too much. Yeah.
Britton said Cassie got removed for defensive replacement, and then he told them that he didn't like being replaced in not so great words.
That makes sense. Okay. Thank you, Britton.
I mean, anything happens.
I wish Britton was here telling us that because his voice is amazing.
Britton is a great voice. Yeah. Yeah. What's up? What was I going to say?
Sutton in Milwaukee. I didn't realize he went to Milwaukee.
Yeah. I think he went to Milwaukee before he did that company. Cause like I said, he just appeared 1 year in the AFL. He's just like, bam. He was there all of a sudden, and he had a film company. He was like recording all the video and stuff and doing interviews. And then he was
so over the top for the D-backs anytime they did something. But then he would talk about how much he loved the Dodgers because his dad, obviously Don Sutton, played for the Dodgers for so long, and how he grew up in the organization and everything. And I was like, I don't like the Dodger guy calling the D-backs games. So
Kirby, dude. By the way, I was going to say, anytime like anything with Casty happens, I'm just like, uh-oh. what code are we at in the world?
World
like
War III?
It just,
yeah.
Like
DEFCON 1. What's happening now?
Like I'm a little concerned. I'm like, oh, they got nukes. Like just anything that happens with Castellanos just gets me a little bit nervous. And maybe us talking about it is ruining. George Kirby is just giving up hard hit after hard hit. Man, not intentional to do this, but like the live look of it. Kirby has just not been the Kirby that we know this year. I mean, 6 ERA on the season. It's a lower expected, but it's still 4.48. And in this game, he's given up a bomb to Ian Happ. They've got now 1 out, 2 men on. It looks like hard contact. And I'm looking at his starts. And I guess he's given up. His first 2 starts were horrific. Gave up 11 earned runs in his first 2. Then he's gone 5-2, 7-2, 5-2. He struck out 14 in that one game, but it all looks odd. I want to look here at the overall gameplay.
By the way, just real quick, and I'm not
3 hard hits already in the first inning.
I'm not going to defend George Kirby, but it is the first inning.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about is like this is the stuff. Like this used to not be Kirby. Kirby's like, oh, I don't walk guys. I get some strikeouts. I'm really tough in the beginning stages of a start. That's not the case here. He's already given up 3 hits, an earned run, and 3 hard hit balls, and he's only double-digit pitches. He's 9 pitches, and 3 have been hit 95 miles an hour or harder. And as a matter of fact, dude, they've all been hit 103 or harder. All 3 of those. That's just not good. Maybe he'll settle down, but this is the Kirby.
It's not
stuff
good. I'll say
annoying.
this though. I mean, look, the Cubs are really good, dude. I mean, have the second most runs in the league right now behind the Dodgers only. So, George Kirby needs to turn it around, but you should have not expected it from this start, I think.
Oh,
right?
It's not even necessarily about it's the
first 9 pitches. This is terrible start. So.
I'm just pinpointing it's all of this stuff together. Like Kirby has just not been that Kirby that we know. And I think people will be looking like, oh, hey, is this like a good buy low opportunity? I'm not sure because I think Kirby's name value is still just like it's a problem to what maybe the value you could get overall for him. Value. Strikeouts are up though. Walks are up. I mean, he's giving up more barreled, more average. I guess what I'm saying is it's like if I had to pay 90 cents on the dollar, I'm just not sure you get the 90% of Kirby this year. It just looks weird. And maybe he'll settle down and I'll be dumb and it'll be like he went 7 and gave up 1 earned run, but he's giving up a lot of hard contact and bad fastball thrown outside the zone. I don't like seeing that with Kirby. In worse news, Yordan Alvarez still not doing anything. No swinging, no nothing. It's bad in the streets. I have a vivid memory. Dennis Sid's Graphs, had texted me, and it was right after that news came out where it was like Jordan was like, oh yeah, by the way, I had like a fractured back all season and it lingered, but it's all good now. And he was like, boy, this is something that would make me massively put him off my no draft list. Like there's no chance I would draft it. I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. But then, and I kind of pushed him back. And then there was like, oh no, he's good. He's good. He's starting to hit. And it's just like stuff is back. Like there's just chronic things that are going on with Jordan Alvarez. He's not even swinging. It's really, it's kind of a death sentence type of thing for this season, because how long is it going to take? And are things going to linger back? What is your rest of season thought on Alvarez?
My thought is he's probably not playing until after the All-Star break. I think they're just
Clearly
shutting him down, but I think once he's back, he's back. You know, I don't think this is going to be something that.
Or you think it's going to linger like every injury every season with him?
Because it is lingering, and they're taking the time for him to get over it before bringing him back. So I think they're babying him through it so it doesn't come back again, because they rushed him through before. Like last season, they clearly rushed him, and he's playing with this back injury the whole time. So I think part of this is learning from the mistake last year of letting him play through his stuff, right? So, you know, let's just get him all the way healthy and then get him back. And they're not in a bad position right now. They're not sinking like a stone.
It might be too little too late though, once it's time.
No, I don't think so. I just think that this
George
division
Kirby pitching like this, you might be
right.
right.
Right. I think this division is just kind of open, you know, right now, because the Astros are 5 games up on the Mariners right now. And the Mariners are 1 game over 500. So yeah, it sucks that they lost to Nick Kurtz walk-off bombs twice, right? Like, but they're way ahead of the Rangers, and it's the Rangers are hurt. The A's aren't winning anything. The Angels aren't winning anything. So if you're still up on the Mariners, there's no need to rush him back. So I think he'll be fine once he comes back, but I don't think that's until after the break, which is upsetting.
Interesting Kirby settling in, by the way. Speaking of that, got a whiff on the fastball down the middle off of Swanson. Throw a nice little curveball, but he's almost 20 pitches in this first inning. Just coming back to that. Like, in the Mariners, you know, they just got all their dudes back, and there's a run. There's 2 more runs that he just gave up. The Mariners, they just got back all of their pitchers, and their offense have been running, and this is what they need. But this is also to the point, maybe what makes the division still a little bit open, because Joe and I were kind of battling back and forth. Like, you know, he thinks, you know, the Astros have some reinforcements. Maybe they get into the trade market. I'm just not so sure they can. They just don't have a lot of stuff. The minor leaguers are, it's okay. They got some guys, but I don't think they have like a really great balance of players. All right, let's get into some other stuff. Jack Caglione, after the shaky start, 2 homers on Thursday. This also with the second walk-off of Nick Kurtz. So freaking out of prospects. I get it, but just always position yourself. Position yourself when you are bidding and putting waivers on these prospects, that you are picking up a player that you can stomach that can be bad for a week. And after 4 games, you're not having an absolute panic attack, because a lot of these guys need some balance. And it goes the other way too. Look at Christian Campbell on the complete opposite side. Christian Campbell was just sent down after having a really good start, hitting over 300, getting some counting stats. Both sides of it, there's volatility with prospects, and it's rough. But Nick Kurtz and Jack Caglione are of that really, really high caliber, high exit velocities, really good barrel hard hit guys. And I think they're going to just be, they're the dudes. And this is why when all those questions came in, I'm like, I'm trying to hold. If you can hold, this is what you want to do. And hopefully you had some pieces where you can bench them. I feel like when everybody talks about just players, the prospects or whatever, everyone's always just like, should I just cut this guy? And it's like, can't you bench them? Do you guys ever have benches? I feel like no one ever talks like, I could bench this guy for
use those bench guys.
Do that. Bench the stupid guy for a little bit instead of immediately cutting. Should I cut him? Cut him for this guy who's done something for a day?
Yeah, but you know, look at the people who probably asked about cutting Christian Campbell, and then he did finally get sent down.
I know.
I mean, so it cuts both ways for sure. But this was, I mean, I thought we were going to be recording yesterday. We both had like tons of shows. So yeah, bench is Brick here says bench is full of Christian Walkers, by the way, which has happened. He's gotten a little better recently, but hasn't hit that peak yet.
What do you think his average is right now?
216.
Oh, did you look?
No.
Oh, okay. It is. Well, you did look. It was 217.
I think I saw it yesterday. That must have been it.
What does
I
he hit
I
this
didn't
month?
go look.
Does he hit 242?
Not
this
like
month, though?
250. What was it?
To be fair, here's a narrative for you. He has improved every single month with his batting.
Yeah.
But he's hitting 242 this month. That's it.
But I mean, look, before yesterday, when I thought we were recording on Thursday, what I had on the sheet was, are we worried about Caglione because he's 9 for 51 and he was hitting 196 going into that game, right? So to get the first 2 bombs is huge, and hopefully this is where it picks up, right? But it was, it's starting to get a little shaky, right?
Yeah,
before
it
that,
gets shaky.
so.
It gets shaky, but my point is, it's like somehow the people that spend the most also have the least ability to let it ride out. It's
Burn and
crazy.
turn, baby.
It's
We
the
got to
most-
get this going.
The most desperate people are like, I'm going to spend $350 on Caglione. And then after 3, what? He doesn't have 7 homers in his first 10 at bats. What are we doing? It's like, yeah, it is unfortunate. But also, you give the leeway to the best prospects. It's not 100%. So if you take, Kurtz, Cags, Roman Anthony, and like Christian Campbell and Cam Smith, it's like there is an order there. Roman Anthony, Cags, and Kurtz get and really I should say Campbell get the highest equity of wiggle room. Cam Smith is probably now doing stuff for a lot of people that did not draft him and did not get him because he was good.
Cam Smith or Christian Walker for the rest of the year? I think that's
Smith?
a fair question.
I don't think I can't. I'm done. I've told you I'm done with Christian Walker.
Yeah, but you were done with Christian Walker last year when he was good. So.
Well, when he was not except in the playoffs, you mean?
Yeah, it was miserable in the playoffs. That was
miserable.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. He's been miserable since that playoff run where he couldn't try and he hit.
You wanted me. I don't know why. You have tried to fracture my love for Christian Walker his entire career. You tried to hurt him, right?
I did.
You tried to hurt him. And
I did hurt him. I did actually
Right.
hurt him.
So that happened. In 2023 opening day, you're like, will you just hate Christian Walker with me, please? And I said, no, I can't do it. And then the last 2, like this is finally
and then he was the biggest
work.
failure when the Diamondbacks were in the most important time in the playoffs. They needed
got there too.
They needed one person to pick it up. They needed Christian.
He didn't hit one of them 4 homers off of Lance Lynn. You don't remember that?
No,
he wasn't good in the World Series.
Yeah, we were there. We were there for 2 of those games, by the way, in the World Series, and he was
not
garbage.
Good. Yeah.
He's actually a pretty nice guy, though, but I did physically hurt him. But yeah, prospect, blah, blah, blah. It is, I guess it is what it is. Some other news and notes. Max Mayer is meeting with a hip specialist. He's been on the IL since the start of June, just in time for Bogman to acquire him. But you're a rebuilding team. So I think.
Oh, yeah, my team sucks.
Acquiring a guy like Max Mayer, you didn't care what's going on this year. You don't want to hear
get
Tommy
the hip
John.
Fixed. Yeah, exactly. Get the hip fixed. Take it easy. Relax. You know what I'm saying?
You're on 3rd Street.
You're on 3rd Street. Let's just take it easy here. Let's recover and let's get good for when my team is actually good, which is not going to be this year or next year. So
you're building for the future. Ben Rice got to start at catcher on Wednesday. That's something we've been kind of talking about over on Fantasy Pros. Keep an eye on that because if he gets catcher eligibility, it's great. Also,
all he's got to do is score 3 more runs to get eligibility in Yahoo, right? Like
Austin Wells has not been good either. Yeah. Well, and CBS is like 5 games now.
Is it 5 games? Okay.
Yeah, maybe
bad.
it's always been like that. And I just didn't realize that. But yeah, 5 games and people are celebrating. But funny enough, Yankees probably kicking themselves. They've got Ben Rice playing some catcher, Austin Wells, and they had the guy last year in Carlos Nevarez, and he's like one of the most valuable catchers with the Red Sox.
I just picked him up because Gabby went on the IL in the league. So
yeah, why'd you have Gabby?
Gabby's
that's why that is that same team that sucks and is 2 years away.
No, maybe I don't remember.
That's why, because you had Gabby.
Yeah, okay.
I love Gabby as a person, as a catcher. He's beloved by his teammates. One of the most overrated and worst fantasy players out there.
Yeah, he just has no power.
Yeah, or any really good skills offensively.
Yeah, okay.
Dresses nice. He's got good hair.
Better than Dalton Varsho.
No, Dalton Varsho is better. I mean, he's not a catcher anymore, though. He's an outfielder. He's
I know.
Tremendous
There's a million outfielders.
Yeah.
So
who can run, who can hit and hit homers and steal bases and catch when he's falling on his butt in center field.
I don't care about any of that from Varsho. I would much rather have Lourdes and Gabby.
Why do the Diamondbacks all do trades that like work for everybody? I want the Diamondbacks to start winning some trades. I want the Diamondbacks to get James Wood, Mackenzie Gore.
They've lost plenty of
Abrams.
trades.
Yeah, this is what they do. They lose trades horrifically, or they do trades that's like good for everybody. They're like, oh, Jazz and Gallen. That doesn't look good. Lourdes and da-da-da. They just, at one point, I guess Lourdes and Gabby looked like such a win off of our show. Is it that much of a win right now?
Yeah, it's still a win.
It's still a win, but
we got to the World Series.
And lost because of Christian Walker.
Yeah, okay. We still got to the World
and
Series.
Corey Seager specifically.
We made the playoffs. When was the last time the Blue Jays made the playoffs?
I don't know. When?
Probably wasn't that long ago.
Probably.
I don't know.
Was it Joe Carter? I don't know. Gabby's on the IL.
Yeah.
Luke Weaver going to be activated today. Do you think Luke Weaver is going to take anything away from Devin Williams?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, why wouldn't he?
Because Devin Williams has been good, was paid to be the big closer, and I think Weaver can play the fireman. I think Devin Williams keeps his closing job.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it's one of those like the first sign of shakiness. Then sure.
You own Weaver. Or, I'm sorry, you own Williams. Weaver's on the wire. 10-team league. Are you cutting Williams to pick up Weaver? I have this exact scenario in the Fantasy Pros League.
Probably not.
I'm not doing it. I'm keeping Devin Williams.
By the way, I think it was 2022 last time the Blue Jays were in the playoffs. So
also hypothetical, you have the last playoff spot. The president. This is a complete hypothetical, not a real situation. But let's just say the president of the company you work for is in 5th place, and you're about to knock them out of the playoffs to make it in the playoffs. Good move, bad move. The president of the company. He runs everything.
I mean, you know,
do I throw one down the middle, or do I keep throwing breaking? To throw that splitter, a cutter?
I mean, you know what I would do, but I'm also crazy. So
yeah, I'm be like, this is why I'm the baseball guy, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Sorry,
right.
Prez. Sorry, Prez. Yeah. You're out. Get out of here.
I'm gonna hit you with that. I'm gonna hit you with that hard pitch to hit. That's
sorry, baby. All right. Shane McClanahan said he had a very good meeting with a nerve specialist. What does that mean?
It means nothing to me. Like, I don't know. These are the things I love putting on the sheet to see what your reaction is going to be and see if it's the same reaction that I have. Okay. What does that mean for him? Great.
Yeah. Did he say something nice? Just what's a good meeting?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, did he have a good lunch?
I have lots of good meetings.
Yeah. Or does that mean your nerve issues are okay? I'm going to assume that it means that there's nothing new going on with McClanahan.
Bad news, bad meeting. Michael King going to be out through the All-Star break. If you guys didn't hear about that, Mike Schill kind of confirmed that. It's a nerve issue. No bueno. That one's going to keep going. A lot of nerve issues in here. Spencer Arrighetti is going to start throwing off the mound this week.
You dumped King in a redraft.
Do I what?
Dump him.
Who?
King. So you have 3 IL spots. He's out through the break. You're just keeping one of them for him.
I'll tell you, and it actually, like in a 10-man league, it might be a little bit closer if there's a lot of streaming options. But if you can IL a guy like Michael King, he's a top 15 pitcher. So those are the type of players that it's like at all costs you have to, whoever those other 2 guys are or 3 guys on the IL that you're trying to make the decision, they got to be much like easier decisions to cut over Michael King. Verlander sucked as he came back. Emmett Sheehan, Brubaker activated. Sheehan was sent right back down, by the way, and Max Scherzer renewed soreness in his thumb. Sheehan, you want to hold on to Sheehan after being optioned or no?
Nah, I'm good. I mean, Max, just hang him up, right?
It's about time.
Yeah, I think is he a Hall of Famer?
Max? I have to look at the numbers. My instant reaction is to say yes.
I kind of feel like it is too, but maybe he's not. Let's look.
I saw somebody, it's like Heyman or someone that was like, Chris Sale's a Hall of Famer. Don't at me. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah. Is that a discussion? Is that
216 wins? Yeah, I mean,
Scherzer?
Yeah, for Scherzer. He's got 3,000 strikeouts, 3,408, 756 walks,
Scherzer is a Hall of Famer.
316 career ERA 108. Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
but is there a discussion that Chris Sale might be a Hall of Famer or not? Guy's got a Cy Young at 35 years old. He won a championship. Didn't he just pick up like is it close to
143 and 87, 2,528 strikeouts. More walks than Scherzer. His ERA is better though, 302. His WHIP is 105.
So is he dicey right now, or is it like if he plays 2 more years, gets to 3,000 strikeouts, like he's a Hall?
Yeah, I would say if he gets to 3,000, he's a lock.
So he gets another 100 this year, then he needs 200 over the next 2 seasons.
Does he need to get to 200 wins? I guess is the
what many wins is he at?
143.
It's not possible. I guess it is. I shouldn't.
You have
that,
to play 4 or 5 more years at least.
He could, but I think the thought process is he's got 2 more years, and I think he wants to make the Hall of Fame. I didn't know it was a discussion piece.
Yeah, I think. With fewer than 150 wins, I think it's questionable, but he should get to that this year. So,
by the way, on the eligibility stuff, Britton had said Brent Rooker picked up outfield eligibility with his 10th start in outfield yesterday. You know what? I noticed that today because our Fantasy Pros League is on ESPN, the only one that I play on ESPN. And I had Brent Rooker this whole year. Carroll's out today, who I have, and I'm like, damn it, am I going to have to make a tough decision? Nope, because Rooker just got his outfield eligibility. I moved him for Carroll, and I was able to put someone else in the util spot, which was very, very nice.
Can't get Schwarber or Ozuna there, huh? So
yeah, isn't Schwarber like didn't he just get his 5th game in the outfield?
Oh, I don't know. Has he been playing the outfield at all?
I think. Yeah, hold on. Someone asked me that. I know
he has 5 in left field, 70 DH, 5 in left field.
Someone was like, "Is Schwarber going to get it?"
It's
not the
fan track for me. So he needs 15 more games. So
yeah, I have no idea. I hope he does. I would say if he got those games in the outfield this year so far, there's a pretty decent shot that he gets it, but it might not be like in a time that super helps you. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to just burn through some June standouts, and that's going to lead us into some June standout player debates that we're going to do. We got some people hanging with us here. When we get into the debates, tell us who you guys like, and we'll kind of throw it in here. And then we will end. We haven't done it for a week or two because of Margarita Friday last week, but we do got to hit the Grim Reaper stuff, and Grim Reaper was in there a little bit. Is that a gummy margarita hitting you yet?
It's kind of a light one, so not really.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see if
I had lunch before too. So
probably
like right about when we're getting in the debate, so I make no sense in the most important part of the show. So
excellent. All right. Break. We'll be right back.
The In This League Podcast Network.
Some of them stats. Bogman put together some big June performers. I like how because we have like some physical stats, but I'm going to burn through the hitters and then we'll come back to it. So here's some of the stuff that Bogman's got. Top 10 in WAR. Hunter Goodman, J.P. Crawford, Marcus Semien, Josh Smith, Andy Pahis, all top 10 in WAR in the month of June. Very impressive. Top 30, you can add Alejandro Kirk, Muncy, Bohm, Clement, and Addison Barger. We don't have a debate for Barger, but boy, Barger's
been good.
Every question I get about Barger, it's really tough because it's usually like Barger or said big name player. And I've picked Barger quite a few times.
Yeah, Barger's hitting 275, 8 homers, 25 runs, 24 RBI, 1 swipe. OBP is 333. Where has he been hitting in the lineup?
He's been hitting like high. I think it's like 2. 1 or 2.
See. He has been hitting. He has the most at bats at 7 and 6, but he has 32 at third.
Okay, 3. That's what it was because it's like Bichette, Vlad, and then him
everywhere.
Right?
He is literally hitting every spot in the lineup this year. 21 at bats at 5th, 18 at 2nd, 5 at 1st, 4 at 4th. So they have literally put him in every single spot in the lineup. Let me look at the game log. Recently, he's been hitting second.
I watched the game
second, third, 6th, 5th, 2nd, 3rd.
Okay, the second because I watched a game and he was 2nd. So that's where
Yeah.
that came from.
The last 3 games in a row, he's played right field and hit second.
And more of
That
our
was against
people
the
in here.
D-backs. That's why you're watching those.
Tunnel, happy Friday, Bogman and the Welsh. And then Britain, old school ITL, 99 player debate. Shout out to El
El
Torito.
Torito.
El Torito. Still one of the funniest things of all time that that ended up in there. But here's a good debate. Most punchable face player debate. Gavin Lux or Trevor Bauer?
Bauer.
Yeah, it's not close. I mean, Gavin has a punchable face, but like
No one is more punchable than Bauer.
yeah, it's always been like that. And we always say we were in on that game way before it was popular.
Despise Bauer way before we knew about the scumbag. I mean, we suspected it, obviously.
When he did the rap song about Miggy, that we were
my
just like,
God,
all
dude,
right.
what an asshole.
You know, Miggy's
Are
working
you
for the
kidding me?
Diamondbacks, like as like an assistant, and I've
My
seen
God.
him 3 different times.
I love
I should
Miguel
ask him
Montero,
about
dude.
that.
Yeah.
I should legitimately, because you know what's so funny about Miguel Montero, which you're gonna love. Miguel Montero is legitimately just a professional bogman. Like
Yeah.
he walks around, dude's got jorts on all the time. You got people that are in like, you know, like workout gear and everything. Miguel Montero's out there and he's
That's
wearing
my
like
dude.
big cargo pants with the things on the side. He's got flip-flops. Like
Got
he's
hammer
just-
loop on them pants.
Dude,
That's
he's-
right. Yeah.
He's just like
Sandals.
it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh every time I see him, and he's been out there a bunch. I'm 100% gonna try to corner him, and I don't know
Just
how.
say,
will
hey,
I
look,
ask him.
when can we expect the answer? The clap back.
Like, what'd you
This.
do when that song came?
You
out?
won't ever know me. You don't
punch
ever
him?
know me. God, what a dick.
This
Trevor
is so
Bauer
stupid.
sucks.
All right, so back to the
Great
stat.
question, Britton.
It is, yeah. Well, it's just a great. Oh yeah, the question, yeah. But then the player debate.
Great
Shout
player
out
debate.
to
Yeah.
who that was. I just forgot. Herrera?
It's no, the guy for Philly that got I mean, he got in some big trouble.
Crap! I had it when he said
my
it, and
God.
now it's gone. What was his? Let me see. El Torito Baseball came up as a restaurant, by the way. Odubel Herrera. I was right. It wasn't
Odubel.
Herrera.
That's right.
Odubel Herrera. All right. In June, you had 2 hitters, or so far, you've had 2 hitters over 400. That is Jacob Wilson and Ronald Acuna. Jacob Wilson, by the way, it is 9th homer. As I've been like very openly like, I don't know if he's
Not gonna have any power.
Not gonna have any. I don't know if the power's gonna continue and if he's gonna keep going. And Jacob Wilson drops his 9th homer and just
Playing a lot of home games recently. So
minus 800 for Rookie of the Year probably now.
I mean, yeah.
He's so good.
No one's even close, right?
Yeah, he's so good.
All he has to do is stay healthy and not completely crazy.
Just to keep pace, like pace-ish.
Right.
Like you don't have to keep like 360 pace, but just kind of keep doing what you're doing, and he's going to run away with the award. And also, like, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He's actually one of like the nicest dudes I've met over the last like 4 or 5 years. Genuine guy. Also grew up in the game. It can go either way. I've seen it where you got guys that grew up in the game, their parents played, and they're the nicest human. Bobby Witt was like that. Jacob Wilson's like that. But then you'll get some guys that have grown up around the game, and they are not like that. They might sometimes be closer to their parents, who usually were in the
hardos.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Home runs over the last month in June. Adele and Goodman have led the way. Suarez and Alonso are there. Runs went to Tatis and Soto. You've had Acuna, Lau, Ellie have been up there. RBIs, Machado and Alonso. That might surprise some people with 20 so far this month. Suarez and Raleigh right behind. Stolen bases. Is this you just put Cruz, so that doesn't quite say, but I'm assuming it's O'Neill. Yeah, O'Neill. Cruz had 7. Pena, Abrams, and Ramirez had 6. O'Neill Cruz has been ridiculous on that front.
If it was De La Cruz, I would have just
put Ellie.
Yeah,
that's true. You'd have put Ellie. On the pitching side, your best ERAs, you're going to figure Skeens is there, of course. He's also had the best whip, 0.44 ERA, 0.63 whip. Chris Sale, an under 1 whip in June. Hall of Famer Chris Sale. But also, maybe you didn't have on your card Mitch Spence, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that it? Mitch Spence with a 1.06 ERA. Rangers been under 2. Clark Schmidt, DeGrom, Hunter Brown. That's a pretty interesting crew there. I'm not going to go through all the whip leaders, but there's some interesting
a lot of the same names.
Guys. Yes, same. But Dobbies is in there.
Is on there. Tyone, Logan Webb, Max Fried. Yeah, a lot of. And Alcantara has been better in June, at least. His whip is 0.88, not bad.
Garrett Crochet has led in strikeouts in the month. I think still leads the league and still has one bet alive for me for this year. I just need to hit like one per year. Remember, I had the Ellie one last year, which was my favorite. Crochet was my favorite this year. Just at least let me hit that one. But you've had Holmes, Pepio, and Crochet have also been up there. Cease, Brown, Merrill Kelly, Kirby have been up there. We've got some debates with some of these players we've talked about. Save leaders, Chapman and McGill. So June has been filled with a bunch of interesting big names and some players that have popped up. But that takes us to some player debates, Bogman. I put these player debates for us, and maybe I'll just kick all these off to throw to you. But this is one I think that actually came in the form of a question. And it came on leading off, and I really like this. And I think it was designed more dynasty, but let's talk about it for this season. Nobody has been hotter than Andy Pajes. And Andy Pajes, from a valuation standpoint, if you think about where you picked up a player to what they've done and who they've become, he's at the top. He's a top 10 of like undrafted free agents and what, they've produced, hitting 290, 15 homers, 6 stolen bases. OBP isn't fantastic, but he's been pulling the crap out of the ball. A lot of the data, like batting average is actually, expected batting average is better. He's not a big barrel and hard hit, but I had said this on leading off. He's kind of a Mookie Betts type of guy. Like, he doesn't put up these big, crazy analytical stats, but he finds the ability, like Mookie does, that launch angle sweet spot's a number that Mookie's always high on, that he does the same while pulling the crap out of the ball and getting in the air. He's got like a 17-degree launch angle. So he kind of just makes it happen. Rest of season, Andy Pajes has also been one of the more valuable June batters. I want to say, I was looking at the leaderboard, now I can't pull it up here, but he was like near, I want to say WAR, maybe top 10 in June. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Ish?
Yeah, for sure. For Pajes, yes.
Yeah.
No, it does. It's on the sheet, bro.
Yes. That was he in that you have the WAR sheet?
Yeah. Well, no.
Oh yeah, duh. What a stupid dumbass idiot. It literally says top 10. This
guy's about to make fun of me for being stoned. Didn't realize he just read this 3 minutes ago.
I literally just read that. Yeah, June 1st. I think there has been like an update because he's technically 13th now, but he's one of only 13 hitters with a 1 or higher WAR the entire year, or in June. So he has been immensely valuable versus Lawrence Butler. So I can actually put this up here just so everybody can physically see it that is hanging out with us, if I can ever find it. Here we go. Lawrence Butler. Bam. Lawrence Butler has underperformed this year. 11 homers, 11 stolen bases have been great. Batting average has been stinky, 257, and expected is lower. He struck out more than he did last year, but he's for the most part kind of maintained the overallness of him. Double-digit barrel, 45 plus hard hit rate. He's walking more than he was last year, but he's getting the ball in the air, and quality of contact has just been a little bit in question, but he's got this amazing ballpark in front of him. And he also, even though he made a significant swing change, you could ideally say like he's a second half player. Like, he was amazing in the second half. So you got baby ballpark, underlying things that are kind of supportive. Second half last year, rest of season, who do you want? Andy Pajes, Lawrence Butler.
Yeah, I mean, this one is really close, but to me, it is Lawrence Butler still. And it's because of the explosion that we saw from Lawrence Butler last year. Like, in that, remember, he hit 3 bombs the day before the All-Star break. And then that second half, he just was on effing fire the whole second half. They still have half their games at home coming up. It's, I think they played like 38 or 39 at home. So they still have over 50% of their home games left. So, yeah, man, to me, it is Lawrence Butler still. Andy Pajes is great, though. And I don't know that there is an incorrect answer to this question, even in Dynasty, honestly.
We're doing normal redraft here,
right.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you. That's what I said with Dynasty. Like, they're really close. They
close. They are really, really close. And these are, 2 young players, and Pajes is 24, and how old is Butler? 20. Yeah, also 24. So, this one's really close. Both good players. I think the team context is better for Pajes, but spot in the order and the ballpark context is better for Butler. Plus, we've seen Butler just go on an MVP-like surge in a half of baseball before last year. So for those reasons, it's slightly to Butler, but Pajes has undoubtedly had a great season.
Yeah, I think if you're chasing stolen bases, the answer is a little bit easier. I think that can pick up. I'm surprised with myself, and I might surprise you. I'm gonna go with Andy Pajes for this one, and I think Lawrence Butler. If you're looking at ceilings, it's Butler, but I think the floor belongs to Andy Pajes. One of the things I really love about him, even keel on both sides, hitting 270 against lefties, almost 300 against righties. He's destroyed from a homer perspective. 12 of his 15 homers have come from the right-hand side, which, like that's the predominant side that you're going to go against. You'd like it to be mixed up a little bit more. He's got I think we would focus on Butler's home field advantage, but he's hitting 320 at home, Andy Pajes. He has a home field advantage, especially right-handed pull hitters can do some damage there. He is hitting 256 on the road, which is obviously worse, but really dominating at home. And my point to this is like some of the advantages you would give to Butler, they don't really speak to Pajes. Expected numbers, or I guess they're in line with him as well. Expected numbers are lower for Butler, struggling against lefties, hitting only 206 against lefties so far this year. He is finding some consistency. And I will say this, one thing I do like, he actually has a pretty even home road split. 262 at home, 252 on the road. Homers are about the same. Stolen bases are about the same. And maybe that gives an advantage to Butler. Like if things click in summer months and the home ballpark becomes better, there is more upside for him. And I think the overall counting stats could be in his favor. But I think between the floor and the team context, and I think I'm going to go with Andy Pajes. And our boy Larry agreed. He said, hate to say it, but he thinks he would go with Pajes as well. So
yeah, like I said, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think whoever you want to pick in this one is fair.
Yeah, and anybody else, if they're hanging out and watching later or whatever, you can kind of just jump in and throw in any of your names. But I thought this was one of the more interesting ones, especially for redraft, because the application starts to become maybe you can I don't know if you can really do this trade, but maybe you want to buy in on Pajes. Maybe Pajes is a player that you can buy high on a tiny bit, but in the same token, if people are really down on Butler, so like if you had to pay the same price. This is it's a tough question how I'm saying it. Well, I was going to say if you had to pay the exact same price, because I think you could argue that Butler in name could cost more than Pajes when they're kind of similarly producing. But if you do the you have to give up, give a random, give me like a pseudo decent pitcher.
Pepio.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Pepio. You have to give up Pepio, and you can get Pajes or Butler. You almost, in those instances, want to play the upside, and you'd want to get Butler. But if it's Pepio can get you Pajes, or then you got to go one notch up, which I don't have the pitcher ready. Let me look at some pitcher names. Who's someone that's above Pepio?
Let's go with someone who's performing well.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
Luis Castillo.
Okay, oh yeah, that's decent. Okay, so Luis Castillo gets you Butler, or Pepio gets you Pajes. Does that do anything for you?
So say it again one more time.
So you have to trade away Luis Castillo and you can get Butler, or you trade away Pepio and you can get Pajes.
Yeah, give me Pajes in that.
Yeah, just a way to think about it.
Yeah. It is a good way to think about it. Yeah, I'd rather get the better pitcher. So yeah.
All right. Next up here, Boggs, for you is a shortstop battle.
I hate this one.
Jeremy Pena versus CJ Abrams. Pena has been electric this year. 9 homers, 15 stolen bases, 322 average, 377 OBP. Walks a little bit more, still doesn't really walk. His strikeouts have been down. Profile looks good. It looks a little bit more representative of who he has been. His expected batting average is 40 points lower, but it would still be an incredible 284 versus CJ Abrams, who has 9 homers and 15 stolen bases, the exact same counting stats. He's hitting 276 with an expected batting average, which is the exact same as Jeremy Pena as well. It would be 284. So there's some upside there. Strikeouts are down. Hitting profile looks a little bit better. He's hitting the ball harder. We've known there's been some stuff with him. Rest of season, Jeremy Pena or CJ Abrams. That's actually weird. I did not know this before I did this, that they had the exact same expected batting average, exact same homers, exact same stolen bases. One is up here, one is down here. You're playing floor and upside. Which one would you want?
Man. First of all, can we acknowledge that I was right about CJ Abrams going into this season? He had to prove himself, and it looks like he's doing it. Can we say that?
Oh,
Before I picked Jeremy Pena over him real quick.
I was such a hater of CJ Abrams. I'm just wrong about that. I have for three straight
but it's
seasons-
not. I think most people had that thought process of, look, this guy completely screwed up. He seems like a screw up.
Well, no, the gambling thing specifically. I have had this thing in my craw for CJ Abrams for 3 years where I'm just like, he just doesn't barrel a lot, and he gets the ball in the air, and he's kind of maximizing, and the homers don't feel like they're gonna stay, and it's just like, nope, he just hits more every single year. So like, I don't know how to evaluate CJ Abrams, specifically him.
That hate for him was inside your craw. I don't like to hear that.
But now go pick Jeremy Pena though.
Yeah, I think it's Jeremy Pena. I mean, look at all the numbers; they're all the same except for the RBI, way higher on Pena. Better spot in the lineup, probably better team context, better ballpark as well. Do I think that I think that Abrams has more upside? I guess I'll say that. Are we going to get to all of it in the second half of 2024? Probably not. So with that being said, with these guys being kind of even, Pena being in a better spot, better lineup, Papa John's, better people, better ingredients, better toppings, all of that. I just, it's slightly towards Pena in this to me. And that's something I didn't think I would say before the season started.
Yeah, this one is so tough because I think there's kind of a battle between what are you valuing more, stolen bases or RBIs? Jeremy Pena is going to be put in just better run producing situations. I think the stolen bases will tick down. I think the average will tick down, but I still think he's going to be like a 290, 300 hitter, and he's going to have the jump on RBI. See, and he's consistent with runs, by the way, but CJ Abrams in May scored 24 runs. So you got runs to Abrams. You've got stolen bases, which I think will dramatically start to change. Even though Pena has been consistent, he has had 4 more stolen bases in May, April, and June, where Abrams has 4 more stolen bases, but he has 6 this month. The runs are higher. The average is kind of the key between them. Man, you know what? I'm going to go CJ Abrams, because I don't know how to evaluate him at this point. Maybe the stolen bases are a tiny bit more value. He's got some upside in his game for batting average. I think Pena is going to come down a little bit. I do think the hitting profile of Jeremy Pena is disgusting of what he's done. And I think the ballpark is better, but I'm going to side on Abrams that he's going to keep clicking a little bit more. The stolen bases and runs are going to be kind of so dominant above Pena that, and if the average equals out, it's literally, what do you want? Runs and stolen bases or homers and RBI. I just don't think Pena is going to have enough of the homer lead there. And I think, what did we talk about in the preseason? We're chasing runs. I feel like we're chasing runs and batting average, and then stolen bases. Well, you're chasing homers as well. But like, I think I'm going to give that side to CJ Abrams. So I'm surprised I went on the other side as well. Does anybody else have any? If we don't have any, I want to see if anybody has any thoughts on Abrams versus Pena, because we got some people hanging in here. We got some other debates. Britain's putting up debates in here.
They want us to do other debates. So.
Yeah. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville or Papa John's from the Grim Reaper?
Oh, man. Well, definitely not Papa John's. Jimmy Buffett's.
Oh, you don't like Papa John's?
Papa John's is fine, but it's definitely third. If you're tiering the fast food pizza places, Papa John's got to be at the bottom of that list, man.
You're putting what, Domino's and Pizza Hut above?
Yeah, Domino's, Pizza Hut definitely above, and I'd say probably most local places as well.
Now, it's really good. I don't know if it's a local chain or not. But
you would say Barrows?
Barrows, yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Well, that's why, yeah, the local stuff too, because Barrows isn't nationwide. Those 3 are nationwide.
Oh, Barrows is like phenomenal. Andrew Barrow.
Here's the question: Little Caesars versus Papa John's. I think that is
I don't think I've had a Little Caesars pizza in 25 years.
I think I still would rather have Little Caesars. Not that, look, I'm not turning my nose up at Papa John's. It's still pizza, right? What they say.
I feel like we might need to do.
Pizza's like sex, even when it's bad, it's good.
We need to do some Dave Portnoy, just like pizza reviews here, because like I don't feel like Papa John's is that bad. And you know what? Britton said Domino's. Domino's stinks. Domino's, I don't like their little square.
Hate for Domino's.
Their little square thing is stupid, and nobody does a thin crust pizza worse than Domino's. They burn it every single time. No one does a thin crust pizza worse than Domino's. Hands down, the worst.
Yeah, okay.
The worst.
I don't think I've had a thin crust from Papa John's, so I don't know. I just
think
I'm ineligible for this debate, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So.
Well, pizza reviews are coming soon. We should like, get like all the pizzas, and we should just eat them in live. Like, you get really hungry.
God, what is that? What's that Japanese fetish where they make the people eat stuff? Mukbang. There you go.
Is this all true? Mukbang?
I think it is. Look it up. MUKBANG.
I'm good. Why don't you look it up? Why don't you look it up in your? Why don't you look up mukbang on your search engine, not mine? But we'll do that. We'll have all the pizza. Be really hungry. And what would you do? You would do
Pizza Hut, South Korean online broadcast where a host eats a large quantity of food while interacting with viewers. That's mukbang. That's what it is.
We haven't really ever hit it in the streets, by the way, for streaming. Maybe that's what we need to do. So it's a mukbang.
The mukbang.
There we go.
I learned that from Cards Against Humanity, I believe, is where I learned that term. So.
What is this one? A Brick said Joey would say you don't get Pena stats. So if Pena's overperforming, CJ may be underperforming, then I'll take CJ. I don't think I understand that, but yeah, I'm going to take CJ here. But I think it's
he's saying
super
the
close.
rest of the season you don't get Pena's numbers. I understand that.
Yeah. Like,
and by the way, the difference in runs for those teams is 11. It's not like a ton. So it still is in the Astros' favor, and I like that lineup better. And they're going to get Jordan back too. So,
yeah, well, maybe he did say, by the way, I read it. It was like, he's feeling better. It's like, oh,
yeah,
feeling so much better. He said, I had Papa John's. I'm feeling.
I'm feeling skinnier. So there you go.
Is there a fourth pizza chain?
Little Caesars is the fourth. Little Caesars is really good as long as who's that catcher from the A's? As long as Bruce Maxwell doesn't show up with a gun, you're doing okay at Little Caesars. So.
A lot of issues with catchers. Maxwell's got the gun. Reese McGuire, gun in hand. Like there's issues.
Who was the idiot that fell asleep in the Burger King drive-thru? The Royals pitcher.
Tony La Russa?
that was a stoplight, not a drive-thru.
Oh, yeah, stoplight.
And a stop sign, not a drive-thru. And his front lawn, not a drive-thru.
Little Caesars. Yeah. Little Caesars isn't legitimately a pizza chain, is it?
Yes. What do you think that people made it up?
No, I know, like but I'm saying like you put it in the big.
It's nationwide. It's nationwide, dog. It's everywhere.
All right. Well, 7-Eleven is nationwide.
Look, everywhere there's Section 8 housing. There's a Little Caesars somewhere,
and a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, exactly. So it is nationwide. People do get it. So
tells you a lot about the neighborhood you're in. You're like, oh, here's the store.
Store, Little Caesars. Where are you taking me?
Little Caesars in a 7-Eleven that doesn't have a gas station with it. Yeah. Or here's a QT and I guess
Caesars represents the Detroit Tigers. Come on, man.
It's really good pizza. And then we're going to move on. Mellow Yellow. Have you ever had that? Isn't that a real place?
Hippie place in Arizona. Yes, I've had it.
It's good. Good pizza.
Isn't it called the Mellow Mushroom?
Mellow Mushroom. That's what it is. Actually what's elite yellow is Pyology. I love Pyology.
Pyology strong.
One of my favorite places on the planet.
Yeah, Pyology strong. But there's always a local place that is better than Little Caesars and Domino's every time.
Usually it's probably around that Circle K though. Gun store, liquor store.
I don't mind the water stains on the ceiling tile if the pizza tastes good. Okay, that's fine.
Here's your red cup to fill your soda with that hasn't been washed in 3 weeks.
Yeah, there's fucking flies around.
Hey.
Sorry.
Bachman's Margarita is starting to fit. You can know the margarita side of the episode is taking over because we've talked about pizza for 5 minutes. So. People don't we're just not a show for everybody. That's why. It's not for everybody. All right. Yeah, I think that's the end of that debate. Let me get to the next one. All right. Next debate up here.
This one. I hate you for this one.
All right. Michael Harris versus Byron Buxton. We got some hitter ones in here. Joe Pisapia hates himself some Michael Harris. You know what? He's kind of justified right now. Michael Harris has been pretty poorish this season. Harris hitting 226, 6 homers, 10 stolen bases, but the Braves are starting to get hot. He still has got some counting stats, but he's hitting 180 this month versus, I mean, this is going to be the ruin of it. Byron Buxton has just unquestionably been amazing. 15 homers, 12 stolen bases, hitting 280. His profile is the third best barrel percentage of his career, third best in the last 3 years, best hard hit percentage of his career. He has the second lowest strikeout rate that he's had over the last 4 seasons. He's got the second best walk rate over the last 3 seasons. Expected batting average tells a little bit of a story lower, but he's been great. But do you trust him rest of season, Byron Buxton or Michael Harris?
I mean, look, I've always said that I like guys that play, but I also like guys that hit above their weight. So, yeah, it has to be Buxton. Buxton is the better player right now. Michael Harris is hitting 226. What is his XBA? 264. I mean, it's much better.
264 last year. I'm sorry, you asking Michael Harris or Buxton?
Michael Harris. It's 264. I'm looking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's 264. Last year was 284. Right, but he's not doing anything. Michael Harris isn't doing anything. He has 10 stolen bases, 6 homers. That's great. Buxton has 12. Buxton has 12 stolen bases. He hadn't had double-digit stolen bases since 2019, and he has 12 this year. He's at 15 homers as well. He's having one of his best seasons ever. And yeah, I think Britton is right. I think it is kind of Buxton and not close right now, right? And this is one of those where it's just undeniable. You know, look, if there's two guys, if there's a guy going into the season like Butler versus Pages, right? And you were the biggest Butler guy. You said, look, he's not far off of blowing up and having an enormous season. Pages is doing great, but I have to stick with my guns here. You can't do that here. You can't say, well, Michael Harris has all this. He's not doing anything, right? So I don't know. The lineup is great in Atlanta, and I do expect Michael Harris to get much better. I'm not saying sell him for nothing, but I'm just, in what world can you depend on him over Buxton for the rest of the season? I just don't see where it happens. So
okay, that's good because
Buxton.
Yeah, I'm clearly going to say Buxton, and it's just hilariously stupid because it is like really the first full year I committed to just no interest in Byron. I've always
you're the reason. I mean,
it is.
And the reason is you.
I've always been a giant Byron Buxton fan. Love this guy, but things were not clicking, and all of a sudden they are. Everything is clicking on all cylinders right now. Maybe this is the, maybe this will be the end because I'm on it, but it's under 30% K percentage. All the underlying profile looks so freaking good. He is overperforming against fastballs and breaking pitches right now, which equates to four-seam fastballs. 295 he's hitting, an expected 239, and sinkers 288 with an expected 224. So I don't love that, and there's clearly regression in his future.
Michael
but I just
Harris
like
he's having his worst month too.
But Michael Harris sucks. But yeah, that's the other thing. It's like
he's got
Michael
3
Harris
homers
sucks.
this month. Fine, great. But he's hitting 180 for the month. This is his worst month, and he's hitting 226 this year. So it has to be Buxton.
Yeah, it is clearly Buxton. Okay, so let me ask you this, buddy.
All right.
Rank these 3. Byron Buxton, Andy Pages, Lawrence Butler.
Pages, Buxton, or Butler, Pages, Buxton.
Oh, Margarita's sitting in. Yeah, so Buxton.
Yeah, I thought you said Harris.
Still because of the injuries.
For whatever reason. Say again.
So Buxton doesn't get any extra credit. He still goes to the bottom of the list because he gets hurt and stuff.
Yeah, I expect him to get hurt and miss at least 6 weeks at some point, right?
Who gets hurt first, Buxton or DeGrom?
That's up to you. Who are you gonna decide cannot get hurt this year? How about this? Is there any way that one of them doesn't go on the IL this season? And which one?
Ooh.
Let's just set the record and say, look, we expect both these guys to end up on the IL at some point. But between Buxton and DeGrom, who would not? Who is less likely to end up on the IL?
Ooh, Buxton, I think.
I think it's Buxton too.
Yeah. Because DeGrom is like, there's just no way,
pitcher.
right?
He's just a pitcher. Pitchers always get hurt. So,
Okay.
but also it's Buxton. Buxton always gets hurt. We expect both of them to end up on the IL at some point, but
Yeah, I mean, I knew this was Buxton. I was just curious, like, where if you would shy away because of the
you
injuries.
just
or
wanted to
anything
see
like
if I
that.
would do it. I'll do it. It's undeniable at this point.
What do you think Byron Buxton's final line of the season is?
What is it right now?
He had like 12 homers, 15 stolen bases, I think.
No, I'm saying just it's probably that. He'll probably get hurt today.
Today.
Yeah.
Such a hater. Love Byron Buxton. All right, 2 more player debates. Pitcher time. Sandy Alcantara versus Kevin Gossman. Now, the reason this one is interesting, Sandy Alcantara has a 2 ERA this month. He has not been good on the year, but he's got a 2.12 ERA so far this month. 3 walks to 15 strikeouts and a sub-1 whip, and that is 3 starts after all the poop. Kevin Gossman, Joey just unapologetically loves across the board. He did have a 2.81 ERA last month, but he just got banged around. 7 ERA so far this month. On the year, he just now is like decently over 4.5. But we've seen the strikeouts up, his walks are down, and he does have an expected ERA of 3.86. So Kevin Gossman still telling a pretty interesting story. Expected numbers are weird with Sandy. It's really only this month you're banking on. You got to pick one rest of season. Sandy Alcantara, Kevin Gossman, go.
I mean, can I pick nobody here? Because that's really kind of my answer. I don't want either one. And I don't think I have a share of either one of these guys, honestly. So I'll go with Kevin Gossman. I don't like guys coming off the injury in the first year. I kind of learned my lesson with Patrick Corbin in that a while back. Also, we need more spider bites for Patrick Corbin, by the way. I didn't see that until 2 days ago or whatever when I sent you the text.
Spider bites or elections? What's more important?
Well, they both have correlations, but he got a spider bite like after 2 bad starts to start the year. Patrick Corbin did, bit by some venomous spider, unless this is an AI thing and they're trying to turn him into Peter Parker. I don't know why, but and he's been good ever since.
He legitimately did. He got bit by a venomous. It was one of those days. I think I was betting against Patrick Corbin because that's like what you do. You don't do it anymore, but you did. And then he didn't start, and we're like, what the hell's going on here? And then it got reported that he got bit by a venomous spider, and then all his superpowers clicked in.
You heard the Roy Oswalt story, right? Of so he was kind of like a journeyman type of pitcher before he blew up, and he had shoulder problems for like 2 seasons. And he went to Louisiana. You remember when they won the World Series? I think Drayton McClain gave him like a John Deere tractor as his bonus, right? Because he's a big hayseed from Louisiana, and he loves his farm and his tractors and stuff. He was working on an old truck, and he grabbed like the distributor cap, and it shocked the crap out of him. And he said, as soon as he pulled his arm off of it, because it kind of like stunned him there for a second, he said his whole shoulder felt better. And then when he went to spring training that year, his velo was up 2 miles an hour, and like he just never looked
Isn't
back.
that like the Angels in the Outfield movie? Or no, what's the one with the kid who has the surgery?
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. I just saw a clip of that.
That's
like,
PCA's mom. That's the mom in that movie is Pete Crow Armstrong's real mom.
There's some clip online. I guess there's just such a disassociation from like when we were kids and you watch those movies, and then you look at it now and you're like, it's so absurdly stupid. Like you kind of want movies to be made like that a little bit more. No, but it's not this. It's not just a kids movie. It's like someone legitimately sat in a room and was like, let's make Air Bud. It's like, let's make a dog that plays basketball and put it in a jersey. And then let's have this kid who throws a ball from the stands. And by the way, an adult tries to kill him because he showed him up. The scene I saw, this guy's like, you tried to show me up, and like tries to attack a child. And it's like, it's so absurdly ridiculous. And yes, by the way, PC.
Oh, Little Big League. You're right. Not
Get it
floating,
right.
Mom. You're right.
Get it right.
My
You're
bad.
drunk.
Yeah, you're drunk.
But it's so absurd. Get
a job, Grouch.
It's so ridiculously absurd. You just forget, like, oh yeah, we let this pass by. These are the and I would like more fun movies and stuff, but I think we're past the time where we can deal with like dogs in basketball uniforms, and then maybe like a 11-year-old child joining a major league team, or real life angels coming in and wanting to help a baseball team with Christopher Lloyd. He's still alive, by the way. I think. I think he's alive.
Me is very old.
Hold on. This might be a problem why this episode is live. All right. Is Christopher Lloyd alive? I'm pretty sure he is.
I know he was in.
I see nothing about death.
Well, he was in The Mandalorian. Remember? He was in that episode with Jack Black and Lizzo. Christopher Lloyd was.
He was.
He was also in.
What a casting. Christopher Lloyd, Jack Black, and Lizzo. Like,
what a mess.
What a mess. Why would they do that?
He was also in Glenn Howerton's show, the one where he's a teacher in Toledo.
Oh,
AP Bio.
Yeah.
AP Bio. He's in the he plays his terrible neighbor that he's in a war with. It's hilarious. Christopher Lloyd.
Shout out to Christopher Lloyd. All right.
Anyway, I'm taking Kevin Gossman.
Yeah, I was about to say, where did we leave off with this one? Get distracted. You're taking Kevin Gossman?
Yeah, I don't like either one of them, to be honest. Like, Gossman starts recently, like, obviously the D-backs crushed him, 7 runs there, 4 earned at Philly. Those are some tough offenses. He had a quality start against the Twins, only 4 2/3 against the A's, though. But he had that 8-inning game against Texas, too. Like, I just don't know that Alcantara is going to get better. I love the June. The June is awesome, right? Is this going to last for the rest of the season, or is he kind of be shaky and up and down coming back from injury? So for me, I'll take Gossman, but I really don't like either one of them.
Yeah, I get it. The thing that doesn't work well for Sandy is 2 of the 3 starts this month were against the Pirates, and I just went away from it. It was the Pirates and the Rockies. But I also think that helped build confidence, and then that led into him going 5, striking out 5, and giving up 2 against the Phillies. His changeup usage has been weird all season, but it is still up at 22%. It's actually underperforming a tiny bit, and the whiff rate on it has actually gone up. So I kind of wonder if there was an element of finding his confidence again. He did. He can get that changeup going, and he carries on. I'm going to take Sandy Alcantara. I have no interest in Kevin Gossman. I don't even think the floor is exciting. We know Sandy's floor is a trap door, but like Sandy's upside can be back to being like a top 20 pitcher, and maybe he's refound that. And I think there's some little tiny baby signs that might be putting in that direction. He's very acquirable. So I'm going to say Sandy. So we have disagreed. We only have agreed on Byron Buxton.
I was going to say, we got to make a bet or something on this show.
Apparently. All right. Well, last one. Let's see where it goes. Drew Rasmussen versus Robbie Ray. Drew Rasmussen has been really good as far as like ERA. If you're looking at just ERA numbers, it's been like 2.5 pretty much. Low whip, under 1 whip. Strikeouts have actually been okay. He's had some kind of low output ones, but Drew Rasmussen has been a massive, big surprise this season versus Robbie Ray, who's also been a ridiculous surprise this season. And he comes with more strikeouts, 2.68 ERA, a little over 1 whip, but a almost 28% K percentage. So higher walk, more strikeouts versus Rasmussen, who's lower strikeouts, lower walk, same ERA. Injuries maybe float both of these guys. Rest of season, who do you want, Rasmussen or Robbie Ray?
See, this is the opposite. I want both of these guys versus our last pitcher debate where I didn't want either one of them. But I think it would have to be Robbie Ray still slightly. Adding Devers, I think, is huge just for potential wins. Robbie Ray has been excellent this season. The ballpark is better. The lineup is better. I mean, Rasmussen should have some road starts because they played, I think it's like 9 more games at home already. I think they played 47 home games and like 36 road games or something like that for the Rays. So they're going to have more road games coming up because of like the rain that happens in Florida and stuff. They're having this big road trip. So we're going to see more road games for Rasmussen, which is nice that he won't have to throw in that ballpark. But I do like him a lot. He's having a very good season and improve that strikeout rate like you mentioned before. But Robbie Ray, like this is he had the injury year last year. He's off of that. He's in a good ballpark. He started out the year super hot. I mean, obviously, he was like on a Cy Young pace. We didn't think he was going to be like that, but I just think he's off to a good start. He's on a good team, good context, good ballpark. I'm going to stick with Robbie Ray here.
I am going to join you on that one. There's some interesting stuff. If you've listened to any of the stuff I've done this week, you kind of know I'm trading Drew Rasmussen, and not that he's going to be invaluable. I've just thought that, like, the strikeouts, they're not in any really elite territory. I mean, he has struck out more than 5 only once since April 24th. He has struck out under 5 3 of his last 6 starts. He's got an expected ERA that's in the mid 3.5s. I'm just like, I think he's fine, but I think you can capitalize in the trade market. Robbie Ray's got some similarities in there, but I like the strikeout potential. I love the win potential in there, the ballpark. Here's some interesting split things you were talking about. So first with Robbie Ray, 3.2 on the road. That's fine. ERA 2.29 at home. So we kind of expect that. We're like, yeah, it's a great home environment. We mentioned Rasmussen can go back on the road. Well, did you know he has an almost identical split with Robbie Ray, except it's worse on the road. He has a 2.16 home ERA and a 3.86 road ERA. So he's been worse on the road so far this year. Plus the strikeouts being down. He's maybe a better whip guy. There's some injury stuff. I'm going to go with Robbie Ray here. I think this one is super, super close, but I like the idea that, like, you can trade really high on Rasmussen. And I think Robbie Ray will come back down to earth a little bit, but I like the home environment and the strikeouts.
I would like to hear your thoughts on the one Britton threw out. Austin Riley versus Junior Caminero.
Oh, that one? I would go with, I think I might still go
let me
with
give
Riley.
you some stats here. Riley, 274 average this year, 43 runs, 11 homers, 37 RBI, 2 swipes. Caminero, 262, 44 runs, 17 homers, 48 RBI, 5 swipes.
I think I'm going to stick with Riley, but it's super close. Like, the one thing that keeps going with Caminero is, like, the average doesn't rise. Like, he has big homers, but there's not a lot that's telling us, that's going to really improve. I think there's still some best yet to come with the Braves. I'm going to go with Riley slightly, but I think they are neck and neck with each other.
I do too. I think you're right. And I think you're right. The thing that holds Caminero down is, 257, 276, 250. He hasn't had like a spike month. And I'm not sure if that's
just not in his game right now, but
a little more pop, good ballpark, stealing at a better pace too. 1-2-2 over the first 3 months. He could end up with like 15-ish. We'll see. I think I would take Caminero, but it is a coin flip.
It is a definite coin flip. There you go. Those are the player debates. Those are some good ones. That was fun. That was fun player debates, like having some people hanging in with here.
Do we have a Grim Reaper thing?
We do. Yeah, that's where we were going to go. So I think we forgot it the last week or two. Slight update on the Grim Reaper who is in here. People have followed with that. It's a mystery person in ITL who's been playing, and there's so much to it that has made me laugh. So here was the last email, and then I think Margarita Friday got rid of it, and then I'll play the last voicemail. I mean, it's a big email. It's like that. That's the last email. He said He confirmed he's not Chad.
Okay,
because I took the bait on Chaddy's thing. Here are the clues that we have. So I'm going to just kind of, because there's a lot going on in this email, but here are the ultimate. I like what he did here is he said, here are the clues. He's a captain in the ITL Army. He knows FAM. Well, I don't know if I'm going to say that, but he knows what FAM does. He remembers prior skits of Bogman as a comic book character. So that is versus Swamp Thing. He also knows Handy has a B-side podcast.
Okay.
Says, perhaps I'm eccentric. Perhaps I do or do not know tech. And perhaps I have a ton of time on my hands. I am not Guthrie, Craig, Toller, Chad, Couch, or Handy. New audio will be out with all new AI pics that I post on Twitter at Grim Reaper ITL, so you don't have to post things. Who knows? Perhaps my Twitter contains clues. Oh, I did not see this. Should we go and look at the Grim Reaper's Twitter on here since we have a little video? What is it? ITL, and then I'll share it. ITL Grim Reaper,
right?
Let's see. Grim. Is this not ITL? Why does it not show up? They delete their account?
Because you touch yourself.
It's deleted. Now, see, maybe so. Here's what I wonder too. I wonder if this person also has a little eccentric. Oh no, it's Grim Reaper ITL. Okay, never mind. Forget what I was about to say. Forget what I was about
they're
to
a
say.
liar. They're a cheat. Oh, never mind. I had the name.
No,
wrong.
just like they got up in arms about it and like, ooh, I'm gonna cancel and I'm gonna delete the thing. Like, you never know. All right, so here's the Twitter. All right, so here's their Twitter. The Grim Reaper of fantasy sports. If you lose by injury or a bad call, it was because of me or Matt Canada. I don't know who that is.
I like that.
Who's Matt Canada?
Matt Canada. Remember, he was the Steelers OC.
Oh, okay. So here was the last one. Oh, yeah, you're right. Had a fun trip to Europe this week. Stopped by the French Open with a friend, saw a new movie, and found a cool comic book. So there's the Grim Reaper with standing with somebody. The Accountant 3, Bill's tax invoice. There's some blue chickens. That's a reference to Fam.
Yes, it is.
And then Bogman versus the Mouth Breathers. So this is like the comic book, but you are Swamp Thing. There's me in there too, by the way. And there's a bunch of zombies.
Life.
This is actually pretty good. I like this. So, and they said there might be clues in there. Okay.
Who looks like that? Who's this cartoon character?
I don't know. Is it the little mummer-ish? I'm going to have a guess here, but let's play the audio.
Kind of looks like Fam.
This is old audio. Well, no, they confirmed with us.
Fam. Yeah.
Yeah. What did he say? He said
not Fam, Toller, Couch.
Yeah, not Guthrie,
Nate,
Craig, Toller,
Guthrie.
Chad, Couch, or Handy. Actually did not confirm it's not Fam. All right, I have a guess. You can guess Fam. This is the audio from, can I play it? From last week. Oh, hold on. Now I got to go. Media assets. Because I don't want to share my email because, you know, I can add my email to this, but then I realize like everyone doesn't need to see my email. All right, add. This is it. Here we go.
This is it.
So this is 10 days ago. So we'll see what nonsense comes from this, and then we'll put our guesses out of who the Grim Reaper is. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, boys. It seems my obsession in 2025 is to dismantle your Arizona Diamondbacks pitching staff. As of the 14 MLB pitchers to undergo Tommy John this year, 4 are D-backs. Vieira, Walston, Gallen, Erod, and Montgomery have all seen time on the DL. I'm surprised the Welsh hasn't been called up yet, and I've made more D-backs relievers disappear in thin air than they have made leads vanish. Kevin Ginkel is now living in my dungeon, and now your prized acquisition in Corbin Burns is likely out until 2027. While Justin Martinez heard a snap Monday, I would have included pictures this week, but AI told me they were too graphic to share. But don't worry, Bogman, I'll make it up to you with a visit to Pittsburgh and take out Aaron Rodgers soon. Question. With the way pitching has been this year with injuries and inconsistency, do you see yourself in future years avoiding spending premium draft capital on pitching more than now? Until next time, Toodles, the Grim Reaper.
Okay, so what do you think about the question first? And then the guess.
Yeah, probably, honestly. I mean, it's kind of going that way regardless. I don't think it's necessarily a personal shift in what I'm going to do, but I do think it's one of those where, look, everybody's skipping a pitcher. You just don't have to take one till the 5th round. You know what I mean? I think the market is going to shift more than it's going to be me personally.
Larry said, yeah, I think I kind of like, I generally agree. Like it's always about value to me because people say that and they're like, would you like shift blah, blah, blah. And it's not so much about, it never has been for me about being like, oh, I'm not taking pitchers. It's about the guy. Like, who's the pitcher that I took in the first 3 rounds? There's one this year. Do you recall? There's one pitcher I always took.
In the first 3 rounds.
rounds.
Skeens.
No, I never took Skeens.
Okay. You
I took.
Drafted. I was thinking of rankings.
Garrett Crochet. I took Garrett Crochet every single time I could. It's about the guy. So from an overall strategy standpoint, I'm always attempting to avoid. But if the guy that I wanted Garrett Crochet, I wanted Schwellenbach.
But do you think
the things that put me up?
Do you think that there is a chance that once we get to drafting 2026 NFBC leagues in 4 or 5 months here, that Skeens doesn't go until round 3, like the beginning of round 3, like the first 2 rounds, because so many pitchers got hurt, just no one is taking pitchers? You think Skeens is still going round 1?
I think what happens in this discussion every single time is we go, okay, pitchers are really stinky. We don't want to take these guys. We want to have later valuations, except the ones that are super great, the elite players. It's the same catcher conversation. I don't want catchers, but then someone's like, yeah, but like the advantage of
Salvi
Cal
hit
Raleigh.
48 homers. Right.
Yeah, so I think Skeens and Tariq Skubal and maybe Crochet, they're just going to defy that. That's the problem. They're going to ultimately defy that, and it's not going to matter. And then those other guys will get pushed, and that's where the valuation starts to come in, where it's like, okay, you don't get those elite guys because people are paying the premium, but then everybody is pushing down. As long as you pick the right round, you can get some values. But it's just, to me, it's always just been more about like the specific player.
Right now, what is the highest pick you think is acceptable for Paul Skeens? If we're saying Paul Skeens is the best, no doubt.
Well, I think
no
Tariq
question.
Skubal you can put in.
Okay,
the
sure.
best right
One
now.
of those two then. Whoever your highest pitcher is, what is the highest they can go in the first round?
I think they can go on the wheel.
So the wheel, though, but it's not like you couldn't get
Never.
Skeens in the top 6. You couldn't get him in the top 8.
Me?
I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just me.
By the end of the season, if he has like a Cy Young type of year, and like he is having, and let's say he wins the Cy Young, how high can you get him in your rankings? You couldn't put him ahead of Shohei, of course. Couldn't put him ahead of a healthy Ronald Acuna, right? So could you get him above anybody else with an impeccable year, or is it like, look, any pitcher couldn't go before pick 10?
Oh, okay. I guess I see. Yeah. I mean, I think then I line more into the I'm just not going to put a pitcher in there because the guys are
that's
so
what
elite.
I'm saying. I think in the coming years, the shift is going to be, it's now around 10, maybe 8, maybe something.
But it already was that.
Whatever.
It already kind of was that though.
Let's say next year it's more like second round, beginning of the second, middle of the second. That's when you can take a pitcher. I think it's going to keep moving backwards the more the pitchers get hurt. That's all.
Okay, I totally understand what you're saying. I don't think that'll be the case. I think the elite guys, because Skubal and Skeen still exist, they will defy that. They will still be the ones that go, they won't go inside like the top 10 hitters, but they'll still be that. And then there'll be a bigger gap. And then there's going to be another little grouping. And I think it's like when you look at the totality of like the top 50 picks, maybe there'll be less pitchers, but it'll be little groupings. It'll just be like Skeens and Skubal between, 9 and 14. And then Garrett Crochet around 18, 19. And then it'll be like, here's 2 guys in the 25, 30s. And they'll just be less names, but they'll still be like, guys, there's still 5 pitchers taken in the top 25, or, something like that, something along those lines. But yeah, I think it's generally a problem. So, an interesting thing in here, and the last thing, most people don't care about this. Larry said someone posted about the French Open in the captain's room. It is so interesting. While we were doing this, I was looking, and the person who my guess is the person who posted being at the French Open, because there's something about the French Open in here, isn't there? Was that in the art?
Yeah, maybe.
Or stop by the French Open with a friend, saw a new movie. So now here's the deal. Yeah, this is in their Twitter thing. Had a fun trip to Europe this week. So this might be where they're throwing us off. Give me your guess real quick, and I'll tell you my guess, because mine aligns exact before I even knew any of this information, who my guess was going to be. Who's your guess? Is it Fam?
Yeah, I'll stick with Fam.
My guess is Jesse Severe, and that's who my guess was, because the having more time on the hands was a Jesse Severe giveaway. Jesse has been here forever. Jesse would be one to probably cite Handy's the podcast thing. And then it was confirmed Jesse was apparently sharing French Open pictures in the captain's room. And that picture looks a little Jesse Severe-ish. So this makes sense, I think. That is my guess, unless this was another dastardly little trick of the Grim Reaper to put me off of their scent. The only thing, though, is like Jesse isn't like hanging out in streams and stuff as much as he used to be. So I don't know. Maybe because he's got more time, he would be, but like he's in the stream here and stuff like that. So this would be a next level.
I think that picture, isn't that supposed to be who the person is with the Grim Reaper? Or am I mistaken?
It just AI doesn't understand anything. I don't know, but that's my guess.
That's true.
But my guess before this was
I was just going to say that in the Blue Hens kind of looks like fam to me.
And knows all the type of stuff though. But these would be two people. But shout out to Dynasty Sports Life host Jesse Severe, if he is the Grim Reaper, or did the Grim Reaper do it to us again, taking us off their scent?
Let us know, Grim Reaper. I might text the Grim Reaper, ask him about this next pick coming up in the draft here.
I was going to say, hey, next week we could do this again, but I won't be here next week on the latter half. So I forgot about that. I'll only be here for the early show. So, Bogman, you can go live if you want, but I think maybe after that, we'll try to jump back in. That's why I was going to tell people, make sure to go to twitch.tv/inthisleague to follow there, youtube.com/inthisleague. Big important thing about both of those. If you guys want us to do streaming, you want us to try to get creative, to do other stuff, bring back old stuff, follow us and support us there to show that you guys care about that. Very good job of people that I'm very surprised the amount of people that came in watching live and stuff, which is awesome. But following, messaging us on, hey, you like this, subbing on Twitch with your Prime account, all of those things show like, oh, you guys want us to do more of those. So just letting you guys know that. Also go to inthisleague.com, another great support place. Follow us there. Sign up, get access to Dynasty Prospect Ranks. The minute we're done with this, I'm going to be working on those and getting those posted. We got football stuff, group me rooms. Maybe you could be the next Grim Reaper. You can be a secret little sneaker. But that's it, Bogman. How was Margarita Friday for you? It looks like Margarita Friday has kicked in nice and good.
It is definitely kicking in.
Yeah,
for sure.
Are you going to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville right now?
Probably going to Red Lobster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's always seafood, dude. You're going to get mercury, boy. The amount of seafood you eat. Nobody eats more seafood than Bogman. It's crazy.
I love seafood. It's great.
Some seafood. All right. I don't, so I'm out of here, but I am hungry. That's Bogman. I'm Welsh. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you next time right here on In This League. Peace.
See ya.